In the last 3 videos of this series, we've traveled across continents and centuries to uncover some of the most overlooked and underused mythologies in fantasy storytelling, and we covered a lot of ground so far, from the elemental chaos of Slavic legends to the divine politics of Mesopotamian lore, from the fox spirits of Korea to the mountain goddesses of the Basque. There's no shortage of wild, weird, and powerful inspiration out there.
The world is far from done surprising us. Today we're diving into 5 new mythologies that are packed with fantasy potential. We're gonna go from the volcanic landscapes of Papuan New Guinea to the icy skies of the Sámi, from the steppe spirits of Mongolia to the sun-drenched altars of the Aztec. I'll link the other 3 videos of the series in the video descriptions, but once again, you don't need to watch them to be able to follow this one. Of course, it would be great if you did. Once again, pronunciation help is always welcome. Feel free to correct me kindly in the comments, and let's get to it.
Igbo mythology, originating from southeastern Nigeria, is a rich and layered spiritual system grounded in duality, communal responsibility, and ancestral reverence. At its cosmic center is Chukwu, the supreme deity, the unknowable source of all creation, often associated with the sun and abstract divinity. Like many creator gods across the world, Chukwu remains distant, allowing the universe to unfold through the influence of lesser gods, spirits, and ancestors. One of the most important figures in the Igbo pantheon is Ala, the goddess of the earth, but she is more than a nature deity. Ala governs fertility, morality, death, and the underworld. She is both nurturer and judge, a powerful matriarch who embodies the idea that justice is rooted in the land itself. A third major deity is Ekwensu, often misunderstood as a kind of trickster or devil, but in traditional Igbo thought, Ekwensu is more complex. He governs chaos, trade, conflict, and negotiation, representing the disruptive but necessary forces that push society forward. He's not evil in a Christian sense, rather he's an embodiment of strategic cunning, ambition, and change. Beyond the gods, Igbo mythology includes a rich catalogue of spirits and supernatural beings. One notable example is the Mamiwata, a seductive water spirit shared across many West African traditions. Often portrayed as half woman, half fish or serpent, she grants wealth, healing, or misfortune depending on how she's treated. Her allure is powerful, but so is her vengeance. Another is the Ogbanje, a spirit child who is born into a family only to die young and be reborn again, bringing sorrow each time. This cycle continues until the Iyi Uwa, a hidden talisman anchoring them to the world, is found and destroyed.
So there's a lot of spiritual depth to Igbo mythology, but it's also very narratively rich. This is a belief system where gods uphold justice and nature in equal measure, where your soul is trimmed with a spirit double that reflects your destiny, and where myths serve as a moral blueprint and cautionary tales. You could build a story where the land itself rises in protest because a god was offended. Harvests fail, the dead stop resting, or justice must be restored. Or maybe your protagonist is caught in an endless cycle of rebirth, unable to escape a promise made before birth. Maybe the gods are sending visions of a coming storm, and the only way to save humanity is by understanding the old ways. Igbo mythology can provide a rich ground to tell stories about accountability, identity, and the spiritual weight that every choice can have.
From the icy expanse of northern Scandinavia, across Norway, Sweden, Finland, and the Kola Peninsula, comes the haunting elemental mythology of the Sámi people. This is a mythology shaped by extremes: endless daylight, eternal night, bitter cold, and vast, silent tundras. The Sámi spiritual world is deeply animistic. Everything has a soul: rocks, rivers, animals, even tools. At the center of their spiritual system is the Noaidi, the shaman, who acts as the bridge between worlds. The Noaidi communicates with gods, ancestors, and nature spirits through trance and ritual drumming. One of the most vital spirits in these journeys is Biegomai, the wind man. He rules over the Arctic gales, sometimes life-saving, sometimes deadly. Hunters and reindeer herders would invoke Biegomai for favorable weather, as his mood could determine whether a journey meant survival or death. Other major deities include Biaivi, the sun goddess. She is especially sacred during the long, dark winters when her return means warmth, food, and life. During the winter solstice, offerings of white reindeer were made to encourage her return. Biaivi is also linked to fertility, both of the land and the mind. There's also Horagalis, the thunder god, who protects people from evil spirits and dangerous weather. He's often portrayed with a hammer, not unlike Thor, and was invoked to calm the skies during storms. He was also said to guide souls through the afterlife, walking the line between protector and psychopomp. The Sámi landscape is also populated by strange and powerful mythological beings. One of the most prominent is the Shtalu, a large humanoid monster who is often greedy, dim-witted, and cruel. Outsmarting a Shtalu is a common theme in Sámi folktales, especially through cleverness and courage. Another eerie being is the Ruvga, a type of ghost or spirit that appears as a thin, pale man who gets stronger and more visible the more attention you give him. If you acknowledge the Ruvga too much, he becomes dangerously real, feeding on fear and focus. This makes him a great metaphor for intrusive thoughts, lingering guilt, or ancestral burdens.
If you're creating a fantasy world shaped by nature spirits, long winters, or sacred animals, Sámi mythology offers a unique blend of sacred ecology and quiet cosmic power. The magic here doesn't lie in flashy spells, but in ancestral whispers and storm-born omens, where a lost new ID must guide a hero through the dreamscape of the north to awaken the slumbering sun goddess. Next, we're going to explore the Aztecs, but before you do that, make sure to like and subscribe to the video if you're enjoying the content so far. Every resource on the channel is completely free, including our Discord server, Loregeist Tavern, link to that in the video description. So the best way to support us is by just helping us appease the algorithm gods. But now let's move on with the video.
Aztec mythology is a collision of beauty, brutality, and cosmic scale. It's a worldview built around the idea that the universe is fragile, always teetering on the edge of destruction, and that human beings, through ritual and sacrifice, play a vital role in keeping the cosmic machinery running. The Aztecs saw time not as a straight line, but as a series of cycles, ages of creation and annihilation, and in every cycle, gods lived, died, and fought to hold the sky in place. At the heart of this mythology is Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, god of wind, wisdom, and civilization. He gave humanity corn, taught them science, and descended into the underworld to create humans from bones and blood. He's locked in eternal rivalry with Tezcatlipoca, the god of the night sky, sorcery, illusion, and violent upheaval. Tezcatlipoca embodies change through conflict. He's a shapeshifter and trickster who often tests or torments other gods, including Quetzalcoatl himself, in a mythic dance of ego, destruction, and rebirth. Then there's Huitzilopochtli, the god of war, fire, and the sun. He is both protector and destroyer, and the engine that keeps the cosmos alive. The Aztecs believed that without nourishment, specifically human blood, the sun god would weaken and darkness would return. That's why sacrifice wasn't just ritualistic, it was cosmic maintenance. Aztec mythology also teems with strange and fearsome beings. One of the most iconic is the Tzitzimime, celestial skeletal spirits associated with stars and eclipses. During solar eclipses, people feared these star demons would descend to devour the world. The Tzitzimime were said to hover between benevolence and terror, protectors of the cosmos but also omens of its end. Another fascinating creature is the Ahuizotl, a water-dwelling beast with a monkey-like body, hands instead of feet, and a hand at the end of its tail. It lives in lakes and rivers, dragging victims underwater to devour their eyes, teeth, and nails, parts considered spiritually potent. The Ahuizotl was feared not only for its violence, but also for its connection to divine punishment.
Aztec mythology is another treasure trove for fantasy storytelling. You've got gods who are flawed, vengeful, and visionaries. You've got calendars counting down to the next apocalypse. You've got creatures that are terrifying both physically and spiritually, reflections of cosmic disorder and divine punishment. Imagine a story where the fifth sun is dying and your characters have to decide, will they help birth the sixth or try to preserve the crumbling world they already know? Maybe the bloodline of one of the gods runs through our protagonist's marks for sacrifice, and their survival could doom the sun itself. Maybe some demonic creatures return during an eclipse, and only someone who remembers the old songs can banish them. This is a mythology where the stakes are existential. It's brutal, it's poetic, and in the right hands, it could be unforgettable.
Deep in the lush rainforests and volcanic valleys of Papua New Guinea lies one of the most mythologically rich and mystically underrepresented regions on Earth. Papuan mythology isn't one singular system, but rather a tapestry of diverse spiritual beliefs connected by some unifying themes: the sacredness of land, the closeness of the spirit world, and the transformative power of taboos. The sky deity Afek is a mother creator figure who is said to have taught the first humans how to cook, build homes, and create society. She birthed culture itself and is still honored in sacred rituals. Another central figure in many myth systems is Mai Mai, a trickster spirit often associated with initiation rites and sacred knowledge. He's clever, mischievous, and sometimes dangerous, leading initiates into trials that will change them forever. Then there's Dema, a term found in several regions of Melanesia, referring to ancestral culture heroes or semi-divine beings who were the first to live and die. Their deaths are often sacrificial, giving rise to agriculture, tools, or new societies. As for supernatural creatures, one of the most chilling is the Sanguma, a type of witch or sorcerer feared for their ability to summon spirits, shapeshift, or devour human flesh in secret. In some beliefs, Sanguma can extract your life force and feed it to forest spirits, often acting under the influence of ancestral vengeance or unresolved crimes. Another being is the Tamabarans, powerful ancestral spirits who dwell in sacred houses, caves, or natural formations. They are not necessarily gods, but are revered guardians of tribal identity and custom. Their masks and carved images are kept hidden or displayed only during rituals. Offending or dishonoring them could lead to droughts, sickness, or spiritual madness.
Forgettable. Papuan mythology is about the magic of the land. These stories, they are representations of the world itself. Every mountain might be the spine of a fallen deity. Every river could be the tears of a betrayed spirit. And every grove, every boulder, every echo in the jungle might be a warning or a blessing. As a fantasy writer, this is gold. There's just so much room for symbolism. In this world, stepping off the path is sacrilegious. The spirits may test your worth in your dreams, and taboo is cosmic law. You can build a story about a warrior guided by the voice of Afek, or about a village slowly being consumed up by a silent curse. Or maybe your protagonist breaks a taboo and begins turning into something not human. This is mythology, but it's also geography, law, identity, all wrapped into one.
Mongolian mythology is carved into the wind-blown steppes and seared into the harsh deserts of Central Asia. It's a spiritual worldview forged by nomadic life. At its core is a deep reverence for Tenger, the eternal blue sky. Tenger isn't just a sky god, he's the all-encompassing cosmic force that governs fate. Omnipresent, yet distant, he rarely intervenes directly, but bestows divine approval on rulers and heroes. If someone rose to power, it was believed that Tenger willed it. Beneath Tenger, we find powerful deities like Etugen Ike, the Earth Mother. She's the embodiment of the physical land. Rolling hills, sacred rivers, fertile plains. She's not a nurturing goddess in the Western sense, but one of balance. Honor her, and the land provides. Disrespect her, and she turns cold, barren, and merciless. Another key deity is Erlik Khan, the god of the underworld. He rules over the souls of the dead and is often depicted as a dark counterpart to Tenger, still part of the cosmic balance but feared. As for mythical beings, Mongolian lore is home to some truly striking creatures. One of the most iconic is the Mangadai, demonic shapeshifters or giant ogres who terrorize steppe communities, often disguised in human form. Shamans must confront and banish them through dream battles or ritual combat. Another powerful being is the Lus, a kind of dragon serpent spirit associated with water and lakes. While not always hostile, Lus are fiercely territorial and must be appeased to avoid storms, floods, or spiritual unrest. In some stories, warriors or shamans must tame a Lus to earn divine favor, or risk being consumed by it.
Mongolian mythology is perfect if you're building a world where the divine feels distant but present, where nature isn't something to conquer but to negotiate with. The sky watches and decides. The land supports, but it also judges. In a fantasy setting inspired by this worldview, your characters might be guided by dreams from a long-dead ancestor, or chosen by Tenger to lead a warm band. A shaman may ride across the spirit world to plead with the gods for rain, for example, or try to retrieve a lost soul. Maybe your protagonist carries a birthmark, said to be the kiss of the Luz, marking them for destiny or destruction. Mongolian myth also feels very intimate. It feels super cosmic, even though it's still rooted in hoofbeats, smoke, and stone. It lives in this contradiction between the broad, wide epic and the intimate internal exploration.
So, there you have it. 5 more mythologies from 5 different corners of the globe, each filled with spirits, gods, and legends waiting to be explored. From the cyclical doom of the Aztecs to the sacred winds of the Sámi, these mythologies show us that magic can also be about memory, belief, and the way cultures try to explain what's bigger than themselves.
So that's it for the video today. Hope you enjoyed it so far. Let me know in the comments which ones are you the most excited to dig into. Are you building a world inspired by any of these traditions? Let me know which other mythologies you want to see in the next video. And as always, you're welcome to join our Discord server, Loregeist Tavern, to keep the world building conversation going. Thanks for watching and see you next time.
Come join our Tavern discussion of fantasy storytelling and world building here at Loregeist. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching, and may your tales be ever epic.